Hello everybody, welcome back to the broadcasts from Space Age XL. Last time we launched our space platform, so today we're going to do some more Now Vs stuff, just to bolster the performance of the base before we think about what to do next. Thank you so much for all the support on the other episodes. This series is doing a lot better than I ever anticipated. So I'm genuinely very appreciative of that. If you want to do the old like, comment, subscribe for me, and we'll jump straight into it. Alright, here is the base. We got space science set up last time. We got a little space platform bringing us space science down. And so now we can actually do yellow science. We were going to do yellow science last time, and then we decided that maybe we should do space science, because there's a lot of good stuff in space science, mostly the logistics system. The sooner we get the logistics system set up, the sooner we can leave. Although, as I say, I'm not in a rush to leave, because we want to make sure that everything on Now Vs is going well, going good and well. So yes, today we'll get yellow science sorted. This base is now completely dead, and we'll see what else we can get done. So yellow science is, of course, very easy. Well, relatively easy compared to purple science. Processing units, flying robot frames, identity structures. The only thing we don't have is flying robot frames, because we've not been needing to make them here. We got the engine units already, so we just need some electric engine units, and we don't have the battery solar panel. Yeah, we do. No, we do. Do we? No, we don't have the battery solar panels either. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've gone back this far. I've played a lot. I've played a lot of Factorio, so yeah. All right, so let's get to work, I suppose. Right. We've got all the designs already from the previous playthrough of Broadcast's blueprint book in the description, as always. Electric engine units, very simple, because we've got the fluid bus here, so we just plug the lubricant in, easy peasy. I went overkill on batteries, I'm not quite sure why, I just wanted to. It still doesn't even really use that much, it uses yeah, about 10% of a red bell and 4,200 sulfuric acid, but the sulfuric acid is here and it is 12k a minute, so may as well, right? It's supposed to be XL after all. And then the flying robot frames are currently just being built here. We need to plug it into the bus, but it is of course steel, batteries and electronic circuits. And electric engine units, of course. The reason we've not needed to do this for so long just is because we were making robot frames in the starter base. And once you've got a decent supply of robots, 2,723 construction robots in the system, it's kind of fell by the wayside. Didn't ever really need to top that up. But we need this now because we need yellow science, of course. Trying to make the effort to put more lights into builds just because it looks nice. It's also very helpful on screen. Sorry, I sound a bit hoarse, don't I? I don't feel hoarse. I just sound it. Did we have any problems plugging these in? As we've spoken about before, it's very irritating when you have your bus and you have things going this way, to then also find the space to have things going this way at the same time. And you can kind of see that here with the green circuits. It's a bit of a nightmare. But I refuse to only build on one side of the bus because I think it looks silly. I'd rather it look silly like this than look silly like just having another 5 grid sections going all the way up here. And of course we're plopping down more solar panels and accumulators as and when, because power is fine, but we are burning into the accumulators overnight, so It's not a problem yet, but it will be a problem soon, I assure you. Alright, let's get yellow science in. Here we go. Simple enough. While we're here, I've also copied the existing blueprint that was making the accumulators and the solar panels and the laser turrets down here as well. Because we're going to put down solar grid panels as and when... Oh, ignore that, I'll explain that later. We're going to put more solar panels down just as and when we've got time and we can be bothered. Whoa, that was a cliff explosive, did you see that? It went kaboom. So with yellow science in, we need to obviously come up with a way to get 4 belts of input into the science lab. It's not too taxing. It looks more complicated than it is. This blue inserter grabs from this belt, these 2 red inserters grab from these 2 belts, and then this yellow science comes in. You could do it like that, you don't necessarily need the splitter, and then obviously the red inserter can grab from there and put it all in. So you can load 4 belts with just 2 rows of inserters like that. Hello, Alt-Tab, please, thank you. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to do it like this, you could just do it like this, but I find that looks a bit weird to me. I'd much rather do it like this. Some people do it like this as well, just so that they have the 2 splitters like that. Just personal preference. Just personal preference. Green and red science is not keeping up. It's just the one that is like consistently working, right? So everything that we've researched in the last 20 hours has got red and green science in it. But not everything has got blue science or purple science or military science, for example. So this is never backed up because they're always being used. Whereas all of the other sciences are sometimes not being used. How is the space platform doing, you ask? Very well. I have not touched it since it finished building. Not even looked at it. It just works. Hashtag it just works. It is 90 science per minute, I believe. Yeah. Which is... It could be a lot more, obviously it could be a lot more, but when we get these done, these are 45, when we upgrade them to red Mark III assemblers, green assemblers, they'll be faster, and then we can do a few things to make them even faster still. Right. With yellow science, we of course won the logistics system, which is... Where is it? Where is it? Oh no, wait, no. Yellow science was... What did we want with yellow science? Where is... I wish there was a better way to do this. I really do wish there was a better way to do this. Oh my god, please. No? Utility science. There we go. Lab research speed, laser weapons damage, personal batteries, this will be good. Yeah, bigger roboport is fine. That's mostly what we want from yellow science. But the point is it's in. The point is we've now got all the sciences that we can possibly get on now these. You know what it's time for? It's time for this base to go. It's time for the starter base to go in the bin. A logistics mall. This is how I'm choosing to do it this time around. So I'm going to take a lane of everything off the bus. I'm going to keep the bus moving. There's an argument to be made to put your logistics mall at the end of the bus, so that everything just goes into a chest. I don't trust myself to have remembered to build everything that I need to build, and as such I'm going to continue to move the bus up, just in case. But I have taken a belt of everything off the bus. I am loading it into a red chest. So a red chest is a passive provider chest. Robots will pick from it when there is nothing else. So if there's nothing in a yellow chest, So if there's steel in a yellow chest somewhere, it will take that steel first. And then a robot will never drop into a red passive provider chest as well. So doing it this way ensures that any iron, steel, coal, green circuits, whatever that end up in the yellow chests from a deconstruct job or something gets used before the red chests do. And then I briefly mentioned this. I wanted to I wanted to do a system whereby rather than having a bunch of assemblers always making gear wheels and a bunch of assemblers always making iron sticks and copper cables and other intermediates we may or may not need, pipes is probably a good one. Is pipes a good one? Yeah, pipes go into a lot of things. We'll do a system like this. So the circuit network is connected to one of your roboports, which reads everything in the logistics network. Use a decider combinator to set the value of each thing that you want. So if the number of iron gear wheels in your logistics system is less than your number, 2000 in this case, then just output an iron gear wheel as a signal. And then set your assembly machines to set recipe for what you want. Then also connect that assembly machine to a requester chest. Trash unrequested is wrong, by the way. I tried it, it doesn't make any sense. You may as well leave the items in there. Set requests. So this then also outputs the ingredients required for the currently configured recipe. That is attached to a blue chest. So this wants to make iron gear wheels. It needs iron plates. Iron plates are requested here. And then I've also got an arithmetic combinator here. So this will output ingredient, but it will just output a signal of 2 iron plates, because it only takes 2 iron plates to make 1 iron gear wheel. So I'm multiplying the recipe by 50, just so that there's slightly more stacks in the requester chest at a time. You could also, actually, now that I think about it, use this new selector combinator, right, to output a stack size and multiply it by that. That might be more consistent. Outputs the stack size of the input signals. Yeah, what does that do? What does that actually do? Sorry, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, that's actually doing exactly the same thing. Okay, interesting. So it's taking the input, of which is... You can just about see it over there on the right-hand side, over here. It's taking the input, which is iron plates, and then it's outputting that same input with its stack size. That's probably better than this, isn't it? Yeah, okay, cool, interesting. Well, good to know. Obviously it's not working at the moment because we don't have any logistics robots. But that's fine. So this is where the hub's going to go, the mall. I've got a blueprint in the utilities one called mall parameterization. It uses a green assembler, but that's okay, we can easily fix that. You plop it down, it asks you the item to be made, and then the parameters of the blueprint are such that... yeah, this was irritating, don't talk to me about it. Regardless of what you pick, it will set a requester chest with 1 stack of every one of its ingredients. The reason you have to do it like this is... I don't want to explain it. There is a very good reason why you have to do it like this. It's a pain in the backside, but there we go. So, for example, once we start the mall, and we'll start with... Where have I put it? There we go. put it on the put it on the toolbar. You know, we'll just start with transport belts. There you go. Underground belts. There you go. Splitters. There you go. So then this sets everything that you need. A stack of all of its ingredients. The item. One stack in. So limit the output to one stack, which you can change on the fly for things like belts. And then sets the logistics filter on the chest as well. Very, 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 very helpful. Very helpful. I do have a blueprint for an entire... Where is it? No. Logistics small phase 1. It didn't fit in the new grid section, and I didn't trust myself for it to be 100% correct because I did it all by hand before I remembered that parameterization exists. Okay. We want to deconstruct this. How's the best way to do that? The best way to do that is quite simple. It is to pick all the power poles. Do not forget to pick a type of power pole because, oh my god, I'm sorry. That needs to go away. And then block. I've installed a mod to change blacklist and whitelist to allow list and block list because I am stupid and I honestly cannot internalize which way around that is. So if you want to deconstruct everything except these things, does that mean you have to whitelist it and then do... Because you can also do like a shift click, right, or a right click. So you can set these things on the block list and then right click, and that will only... Oh my god, my mouse is broken, by the way. My right mouse button is a bit sticky, so sometimes it it does something like that. I need to look at getting this fixed. So I've just installed this mod to call this allow list and block list to make this as foolproof as possible. So anyway, you put all the power poles on the roboports on a deconstruction planner, and then you do this. I wish you could also, like, when it says trees and rocks only, I wish it was trees and rocks as well as a tick box. Trees and rocks only, also trees and rocks, you know, because I don't want to also deconstruct all the trees, because I really want to just do this in a big box, but I don't want the robots to spend their time deconstructing the trees when I'd rather them be doing this. So by ignoring the power poles and the roboports, then obviously you guarantee that as long as your existing roboport coverage is good, it will deconstruct everything. And then obviously this is going to take a long time, right? Obviously, but we don't need this. We don't need this. Alright, so then now trees and rocks only, block list, but then right click? No, then... Wait, see, this is what I mean, right? Allow trees and rocks only, but undeconstruct them. Shift, that's right, hold shift. Hold shift to undo a deconstruction order for trees and rocks only. It's complicated. It's like 4 different layers of negatives. Don't only deconstruct not the trees. Right. It's beginning. We need to also build some grid sections here on top of that to make sure that this stays connected to the main network. And this is going to be a big job. This is going to be a big job. But we'll set this going while we do all the work on the mall. And so on and such and whatnot. And obviously you want to see this working for a bit. Everybody always does. It's very satisfying. And we'll come back to this task shortly. Okay, yes. As I say, it's very important when you do that initial deconstruction planner to not forget to add wooden small electric poles. Because what will happen is that when the robots start demolishing this bit, you will very quickly lose power connection to these solar panels, which are, you know, like half of your power supply, and then you will run out of power. And then you will have to come down here and desperately try and clear some space for the pylons and the Roboport grid to also make sure that the Roboport networks stay aligned. And in doing so, you will use your blueprint shotgun to try and hoover up the space. You will run out of space in your inventory because obviously each one of these bloody steel furnaces is filled with 100 plates and 50 coal, and it will turn into an utter disaster. So it's very important you don't do it this way. It's very, very important that you don't do it this way. Okay. The mall parameterization is in. All we need to do is just make sure that these are assembly machine Mark IIs instead of Mark IIIs, because we don't have Mark IIIs being made at the moment. So if they're Mark IIIs, make them Mark IIs. We'll get some of these done. There are currently 335 logistics robots in the system. I just picked up some RoboFrames from the mall and some advanced circuits and made some by hand and added them to the system. And they will start doing this. We may need to kickstart a few things. So for example, if there are no requester chests in the system, the whole thing gets broken because even the first requester chest can't request ingredients to make more requester chests. So we do need to babysit it for a bit. And as I say, this is a big job. This is a big job, but we just let it go. We just leave it going. Certainly easier than bringing everything over by hand, at least for the most part. What are you doing? Oh yes, of course. My inventory is completely broken and knackered and full. Very satisfying, though. Whoops. Oh yeah, turrets, I suppose. Has this ever done anything? I think this is still on exactly the same number of kills it was last time. Like 0s, 2s, and 3s. But, you know, it's quite close. Expansion is off, just for the record. It's modified railworld settings. I know I say that every time, but this might be somebody's first episode. We simply don't know. Alright, let's skip forward in time and oh yeah, look, the Roboport grids have disconnected from each other because I demolished this small electric pole, and as such this has run out of electricity. Ah, he's an idiot, I'm afraid. Alright, the mall is up and running. The only thing it's complaining at me about is missing construction robots, but that's fine. 3,000 exactly. I topped it up to 3,000 exactly out of some weird compulsion. And I have successfully built the grid sections to tie these bits together. This then causes another knock-on effect, which is the mall building a lot of things all at once, and I was concerned about this, right? When I made this basic frame design, I was slightly concerned that this was too many Roboports in such a small space. We have built 641 Roboports in this entire playthrough, which isn't that many, but when you consider that each one of those is 45 advanced circuits, it's kind of a lot of advanced circuits. The base is not currently scaled to consistently make advanced Roboports, and I don't think any base is. I don't think any base is scaled up enough to consistently just churn out advanced Roboports as fast as possible. And then because the base is basically working full tilt to build everything in the mall, so obviously all of the red circuits are going full tilt, which means the green circuits are going full tilt, the plastic's going full tilt, the oil processing is going full tilt. We don't have enough power. So we're really just sort of beholden to this working during the day. I thought that we would be okay. I honestly did think that we would be okay, but we are nowhere near okay. We were never okay. I really should have done uranium ore processing before this. But if we look in the logistics network, we've got some solar panels, some accumulators. We can manually go and do this. We can manually put some more power down, but it is a bit of a disaster, I'm afraid. It has gone slightly wrong. But that's okay. Pain is temporary, glory is forever, as we know. As we know. So we'll just basically wait. We'll just have to just sit and wait for this to do what we want. The labs are still kind of going, and it's mostly done. Like, mostly. Items on ground. Yeah, whoops. It's fine. It's not like our only bit that we're defending is exclusively relying on electricity. That would be a disaster. Oh my god, the Roboport grid is failing as well because they're running out of electricity. Ah! It's alright, the sun's coming up now. The sun's coming up, it's fine. The solar panels can help. Alright. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. So I got uranium processing sorted. I thought I'd spend the time designing the nuclear module while this was all being done, and then by the time I'm finished designing this, the robots should have finished. This is your standard 4 neighbourhood bonus nuclear reactor setup, which is 96 turbines, 48 heat exchangers. And there's also a whole bunch of belts and braces stuff in here for making sure we don't burn through nuclear fuel for no reason. And the way that works is, now that thankfully you can connect the nuclear reactors to the circuit network, you can read the fuel. So this inserter only works when there is no fuel in here already. So when this is empty, it will add another one. This bar also counts. This isn't 0, this is like 0.5 at the moment. So this will not insert any fuel until this is completely empty. It also won't insert any fuel if there is steam in the battery, in the steam battery. Obviously it makes no sense that you can keep the steam in the tank forever and it will not just condense, or whatever the opposite of that is. But that does mean that you can use fluid tanks as a battery. So only when there is no fuel in the reactor and the steam is below what I've elected to do, 25,000. So here we go, it's about to go, there we go, insert the fuel. The nuclear reactor's already at temperature, they stay at temperature, they never go below 500, so as soon as the fuel goes in, they'll start to heat up again. Sorry, I was pointing at this as if it was the fuel indicator. It's not, is it? That's completely wrong. It was this. But the point still stands. It will not insert the uranium fuel, even though this technically is empty, because this bar still has something in it. And so then as soon as the fuel goes in, the temperature starts rising, the water starts being turned into steam, being stored and being turned into steam power via the turbines. There we go. Could probably make these bigger because now they're burning, like they've only used, what's this, like a quarter of a fuel cell, and now everything's fine again. The accumulators are full. So this is now burning the fuel cell unnecessarily. So I suppose you could work out how much steam would be made from one entire nuclear fuel cell and make that the size of your fluid battery. But that's a bit too much belts and braces for me. This works totally fine. This is of course in the book. Oh, there is a small change to the one in the book. I won't go over it when it happens. I'll just tell you it now. I added a third condition to inserting the fuel, and that was an accumulator attached to the circuit network as well. So you can read the output signal of an accumulator. So the percentage that it's charged is the output. So then you can also tell the inserter to not work when that signal, so you'd do and your accumulators are not fully charged, so let's say 50%. So it will only insert the fuel cell under when all three of these conditions are true. There is no fuel in it already, there's not enough steam, and your accumulators are starting to empty. Maybe this should be lower then in that case. But anyway. Mostly foolproof. mostly foolproof. And it fits in a grid section, hooray! As for the mining, easy, simple. The sulfuric acid is coming directly in from the bus. And, yeah, easy. Very, very easy. And then that is power. This can't be right, can it? Oh my god, it is. Look how wrong that looks without the actual brick there. It looks so strange. It's the sort of not quite top-downiness of the view, isn't it? It's like 80% view. Anyway. No Coverx at the moment, not really particularly necessary. So good, we're all sorted. We're back to normality. Oops, there goes gravity. Sorry. It's not the banter. We don't do banter on this one. This is pure business. Centrifuges are expensive, but the roboports are at least now sorted. The base is gone. The grid sections are nicely tidied up. We can start putting even more solar panels down as well. Fluid is low. Oh no, one of my fluid alerts is going off. It's because I'm using so much plastic to make all of these bloody red circuits, but that's easily done. That's easily fixed. Now that we've got the power, we can do cool module stuff. Skipping over a few save files here because I realise this episode's already running a bit longer than I wanted, and I've still got like 4 or 5 save files to show you. So I added modules and wow, the red lights. What was I thinking? I've added modules and beacons to the red circuit build and a few other things that needed a bit of a buff. Well, red circuits for now, basically. The reason you don't do this before is because it increases the power output by quite a lot. These use power. Productivity modules increase the power consumption. So this is on 310% max consumption now. Yeah, you can see when I did that 5 minutes ago on this save file. There, boom. So you tend to wait until you've got nuclear power sorted to do that. Modules on demand. So again, exactly the same as the mall. Oh, I put walls and pipes on this, by the way. Oh, we need some gear wheels. Exactly the same system as this, and we have enough gear wheels. Oh no, now we need some gear wheels. Now we have enough gear wheels. The most irritating part about this is that when the recipe changes, the ingredients go into an output slot, so then that outputs into this purple chest, which throws it back into the logistics system, but at least then it goes into a yellow chest and is used before this red chest. So, oh, we need some gear wheels. Oh, now we don't need any gear wheels. Very good. Exactly the same system for this. Just whichever module we don't have enough of at the time. I've set them all to 400. I think that should be fine. I'm not going to worry too much about tier 2 modules at the moment. They're very, very, very expensive, and they don't give you that much of an upgrade. 10% speed upgrade is nothing to be sniffed at, especially in a beacon. But 2% productivity, 1% quality, whatever. Efficiency modules, who cares? The speed one's probably worth it. But, you know. And then this isn't 100% foolproof, this system, but this is supposed to send the circuits back through. So, like, if I change blue circuits to 0, just for an experiment, and then change efficiency modules up to 40,000, suddenly... Oh my god, we actually have minus speed modules, so it's not even working currently. As soon as we have one speed module in the system, these will all change to... There we go, they're about to change to needing green modules. But it has to, even though the ingredients are exactly the same, it still has to output the circuits. So you do need a plan for this. This is why this doesn't work, by the way. I need to redesign this, but it's very easily solved. This is just me over-engineering it, of course. But there's no reason to build 16 machines that only make speed modules, 16 machines that only make efficiency modules when you're not really using them at the same rate. So now that we can do these things, I have elected to do these things. I've put a few walls and lasers down because the bases are getting quite big now. Enemy bases, I mean. This seemed like an easy bottleneck to just turn into a defense, and yeah, I didn't trust the uranium ore. Pollution's going to go absolutely mega now, right? Like, now that we're using modules and beacons and stuff, the pollution is going to go huge. You'd think, in theory, but it definitely will. It definitely will. You will also notice, and this is why I installed this Chunky Chunks mod. So in the settings for Chunky Chunks, I've set it to show me individual chunks, of course, but then also the green line is 7 chunk spaces. Why 7? 7 is the exact area that a radar can cover. 7 by 7. So if I put a radar in... You don't necessarily have to put it exactly in the green square, you can put it in the chunk that the green square is in. If you put a radar in each one of those with a power supply, with its own power supply, you can cover the map and see, at least during the day, see everything, get some extra radar coverage done down here. The extra benefit of this is now radars are not considered to be military structures. Biters don't really care about them. So providing you can get in and put the radar down and get out again, you're golden. There is a better one somewhere. There is one that this one. They don't give two hoots about it. It's just there, and I can keep tabs on them. These biters started chasing me, and then I ran too far away, so they stopped running their internal logic, and as such, they are just now in limbo forever. So that's nice. So that's good. Okay. I'll fix this, don't worry. Don't worry, I'll fix this. Okay, and the other thing we can do with the modules and the beacons is... if we put one speed module in a beacon, change these to Assembly Machine Mark III so that they have 4 module slots, and then fill these with 4 productivity modules, all of the ratios still work. Not a single one of the science builds needs to be changed if you do it like this. They all still work exactly. And as such, you get a little bit of a boost to your science production. Not loads, but enough. Enough to take this to about 100. We'll say 95.7 is 100. So again, the same down here. So providing each one of your Assembly Machine Mark IIIs is being covered by exactly one beacon with the speed module in it, and then has 3 productivity modules in, these will all then go up to 95.7. None of this needs changing, none of this needs changing. All of the existing builds feed enough green circuits, red circuits, etc. So this is turned off. Still haven't fixed this. Don't worry, I'll fix it. You know, this needs 27 robot frames. This is 60. This needs 82 low-density structures. This is 92. Of course, if we need to do rockets at the same time, we might run into a bit of a problem, but we can do the same thing with the low-density structures, right? Just put some modules in this build and speed it up. It's all fine. It's all fine. So you'll also notice that I changed every single assembly machine in the base to a Mark III. So it's all good. So we're on about 100 science per minute now, which is, you know, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. And that puts us in a good spot. That puts us in a good spot. The only other thing we want to do is we want to build the first actual space shuttle that can take us around the system. So in episode 7 of the old Space Age series, we had the simple frigate, which just has some power, makes some ammo and some fuel, and this can easily get you to any of the inner 3 planets. Easily. Can I not see? I can't see the space map until I've researched any one of the other planets, but I'm deliberately waiting on them. So we'll build the frigate, and we'll think about going to another planet. Build new space platform. And just leave the name as whatever the default is. For now. I know, I put another rocket silo down, as you can probably tell. As you can probably see. This is now doing a bit more, I think. Maybe. Now that this iron supply is going ham. Expanded the grid down here to cover this. I should do the same with this iron, really, but it's there we go. There it is. So we'll take the oops, wrong blueprint book. Episode 7, simple frigate. Just the reason I don't have the space platform itself in the blueprint is because it keeps all of the settings for like requests and scheduling and stuff like that. So, alright, so we'll set this to automatically request construction materials, and we'll start sending rockets up into space. We'll just leave this. We'll just leave this going. Yes, it's not very efficient, but I think we're past that point now. I think we're past that point of caring. You know, this whole thing is going to be wrong blueprint book again. 31 efficiency modules, we can send up 50 at a time. It's things like the it's the electric furnaces, right? We need 1 splitter. So that means we need to spend 50 processing units, 50 rocket fuel and 50 low density structures sending up a stack of splitters, and we only need the 1. But at the same time, we've got 16% productivity on it, so it is only 42. Is that right? Is that maths? 42 processing units, and whatever. I'll pay that in cost just so that I can leave this going by itself while I do other things. Okay. Yes, sorry, I rushed a bit towards the end because I really don't want these episodes to creep up in length, and I honestly didn't think that I had made enough save files to fill half an hour, let alone 45 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment. And if you want to see more Factorio, be sure to subscribe. Any questions, of course, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And we'll decide what we're going to do next time. Whether we can bolster any more of Nalvis, or whether our time is better spent going to Gleba and getting some Gleba stuff done, and then coming back and integrating, you know, captivity, advanced asteroid processing, etc., etc. Epic quality, maybe? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. The world is our oyster. Alright. Thank you so much. Take it easy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.